Hello. Hi. Hi. Happy Saturday. Hi. Cavendish, you are here. Hello. Hi, Helene. How are you? So I am streaming right now on both YouTube and Twitch, so depending on which you want to be at, it's up to you. I do see both chats, so don't worry about that. Hi, Vi. How are you? Welcome. Welcome. How is the audio? I know the song's probably kind of loud right now. Turn that down. Good. You bought Clip Studio. Good. Have you messed with it much? Let me know if you have questions about it. It is good. It's a good program. Okay. Let's see. Oh, Lord. My hair is a bit frizzy today. Sorry about that. It's hot. It's summer. Easier to learn than Photoshop? Yeah, for the most part, it really is. It's pretty nice for that reason, honestly. Alright, I'm gonna switch over to our other music because that's what's up. I saw the comment you left on YouTube. That's so nice. I'm so glad you like everything. Yeah, we loaded you up. You're one of our biggest fans, so we absolutely wanted to give you a whole bunch of stuff. And especially since we know you like to color, that was pretty easy. I want to see some of them too. When you finish some, send them to me. I'll show Gabe any of the ones you do in his stuff too. That's true, Vi. That's a good point. CSV is probably easier because you know Photoshop. That's true. Alright, today we're going to do something a little bit special. Someone had contacted me about doing something a little bit more specific. So today we're going to do something a little bit more specific. But it'll still be like a toned paper. So we'll just do that. You're back at doing your map again? But you like your maps. You were having trouble last time, right? You couldn't get the inspiration, if I remember right. Hey, Badger! How you doing? Did you get the package? Package arrive okay? It's all good, not wrinkled or bent or anything? Hi, Asling! How you doing? Tidying up from last stream. Ugh. I gotta clean up after myself more after streams. Usually after a stream, it's very much the flip the table, I'm out, I gotta go recharge. So I don't usually clean the stream table from all my tools. I really should do that before I start, but hey, maybe then you can see my tools and it's a bonus. I don't know. How was my week? It was busy. Busy. I did some preliminary work here on this month's Guardian. I'm going to show you that real quick. So anybody who is on my Curious Collector tier at $6 on Patreon, I'm thinking this is going to be this month's Guardian. And I know last month we had a pip, but this month we're going to have another pip. And this pip is going to be a corn pip. So let me get the... For those that don't know what a pip is, it is, in my lore, they are like flower and plant deities. So a specific pip will rule over their kind. So if you've got like, I've got a clover pip. They're the rarest of the rare when it comes to these pips. And they rule over, you know, a certain amount of their kind, I guess you could say. So depending on the plant and how common it is, it kind of denotes how many pips there are per grouping of the plant, where the clover pip, there's only one or two at a time. For something like the wheat willer, there are thousands, millions, trillions of them. So it varies, depending on what they are. So this is the corn pip, and I have based them on, if you've ever seen like the corn husk dolls, that I think they're originally Native American. And then they've been, used in pagan stuff. They've been used in all sorts of different cultures since, but I think Native Americans were the ones to do them first. So this is my kind of version of that. So I'm gonna write some lore about them, and she's got a little corn kernel there. But I was inspired by my friend Lacey, because she's been making these a lot lately, and I wanted to make one so bad for so long, like a real one. And since I don't have time to just devote to that, God, I wish I did, I figured I'd work it into my usual schedule so I can at least do it in some way. And this is kind of my compromise with myself, where here, you can still make one, but it's got to be for work. And I'll be like, okay, well, this makes sense. So this coincides with the idea that August and harvest and all that sort of stuff. So these little ones should be pretty fun to do. I'll do stickers around it, so it'll be like some corn-based stickers, some more like corn husk type things. I haven't yet decided, but it should be pretty fun because I really like doing this. Serenity, 38 months. God, that's so crazy. That is so crazy. I made a break as I tried my hand at the comic. I went into both at the same time. There you go, Vi. Package arrived in excellent condition, displayed in the hall above the small care cabinet. Oh, cool. I'm so glad you like it. It should fit in any 5x7 frame. So if you like going thrifting or anything, you can find it a very unique and special frame. Or if you want, it should work in any frame that's black or wood. I wouldn't do gray or white, or a color, but those other ones should work well. Silver, brass, gold, any kind of frame like that. It should work in there. But I'm so glad you like it, Badger. Thank you again. I feel like that one was destined to be with you. I really do. Hi, Twillo. So yeah, this will be the corn pip for August. And hopefully I'll get some time to animate this one this month for the digital version. So now we've got the Curious Collector physical tier at $6, where you get the stickers, you get the lore, the guardian gift, all that sort of stuff. And then there's the digital version that's $5, which if you don't want to get all the physical items, you can do that. But whatever floats your boat, physical version also gets digital. And typically I like to do a little bit of animation if I've got time, and this month I should have more time, so should be good. So that's what we've got now. And then let's see what else. Nothing on here for the moment. Alright, so today I wanted to do, yes, that's me at the creaky chair. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do a building. I'm thinking more of a cottage this time. I know last weekend we did a city. This stream is a little bit more special because I've got somebody who has something a little bit more specific they want for today's. So we're gonna go down either the hydrangea route or a pink roses route. I'm not used to doing roses and things. I haven't done them in a really long time. So we'll see what we can do here. See if I can move this around right now. Yeah, that works. I'm gonna do a couple quick thumbnails though. Does anybody want to talk about their week? I really want to hear how your guys' week went. I kind of live vicariously through you, if you haven't noticed, because I don't get out much. So because of that, I want to know how your week went. What are the highlights? If you want to vent about some lowlights, go for it. Oh, we'll try to keep it mainly positive, but I mean, if you want to let loose, you can let loose. Let me get some scrap paper going. I gotta find some first. And sometimes if you just grab some random paper, it'll keep you making your thumbnails small. Of course, I grabbed paper that's got doodles on it already. Typical. Volunteering for your local war museum. Cool! Well, that sounds really neat. What do you get to do when you do that, Vi? Hey, that works, Badger. Whatever you want to do. It is in your care now. It is your adopted baby. You can do what you like with it. Junkyard Dog got a new head sail for a race this past Wednesday. Oh yeah, your sailing stuff. We didn't win this time. That's okay. Yeah, you got a new sail, so you changed your setup. You gotta give yourself some time to get used to the new digs, right? Right. You'll do fine, Cavendish. Alright, so cottage. Cottage. Let's get a couple things going in my brain. Not yet in the zone. I think it'd be cute if it was another somewhat cutaway, not a total cutaway. Or we'll put it up on like a little pedestal type thing. I was thinking that'd be cute. Hydrangeas are very puffy. I wonder if there's a way I could make like puffy bits. So I should give some background to this. I've actually done something similar to this in the past. If any of you remember my Fortified Flora series, you've been with me for a hot minute. So if you remember that, first of all, thank you for being with me that long. Second, this is what they look like. So I've already kind of got a basis in doing what I'm thinking about doing, but then again, I haven't done it in a few years. And it's not going to look exactly like those since I'm not going to ink it. I'm going to kind of apply my current style to it. But either way, I like the idea of going back to kind of a flower-based architecture building. You know, that the building was built around the flower or the plant. So I like that. I'm going to go with that this time. But I got to figure out how to do that with, you know, something so puffy. Today with my partner on his part-time delivery route, and it's a lot of walking. Oh, feeling exhausted. Me too. The past 3 days, I've been just wanting to sleep, and I can't because I have to work. So I've been absolutely ornery and very, very cranky. Just poor Gabe. I've been so cranky this week because I'm just tired. So I feel you on that. And the new shoes bit, that's rough. Having to walk when you've got new shoes, oh, that's terrible. Usually help carry your own weapons or clean them. That's awesome. That's awesome. Museum night, all museums are free. That's so cool. God, I'm so thankful for museums and libraries. They are so underrated. New washer dryer, catch up on laundry. That's awesome. I can't tell you how good a new washer and dryer feel. Like the one we were using before we moved into this new house, it always ate my delicates. I have so many things with holes in them right now because the washer would eat them. And they'd always snag, and I eventually got like a linen bag. But even so, it started ripping the linen bags. I don't know what was in there. I checked. There's no sharp anything. I don't know what happened. I think it would catch on something. I don't know. But when we got here, we got a new washer and dryer. Those ones are really old. These ones, not only are they newer, but it seems like washer and dryers just are bigger now. they're just bigger in general. So like we can fit king size stuff in there. It's nuts. Comforters. Technology, man. Technology. Yeah, Serenity, you were there. Yeah, what is it with being tired? Are we just all fatigued of summer? Is summer like mentally over right now? That's what it feels like. I'm gonna be honest. Okay, I've kind of got an idea going now. So I'm gonna rock that. I'm gonna mute it real quick so I can sharpen my pencil. So hold on. Summer is extremely draining, especially when it's been going on, I feel like, as long as it has, which feels like forever. I'm kind of over it, in all honesty. But, yeah. It's just, I'm so over it. I'm with you guys. I'm absolutely with you. July was so hot, August literally cold. Is it being late summer? It's raining. Oh, I wish it was cold now. I can't wait for it to be in the 50s. Oh, and I can open all the windows in the house and it just feels like you're outside. That's my favorite. When you're almost a little too cold and you put on the blanket, but you're not going to close the windows in the house because that's not what we do. We leave all the windows open. So it feels like you're outside, but you're still kind of chilly. And it's nice like that. I don't know. I'm looking forward to that. Oh. I hope we don't just skip to winter. I think last year it was like that, where it like started getting colder, and then we were like, yeah, and then it just went snow, and you're like, damn it. I want a little bit of fall. Give me a solid month. Come on, just a solid month other than heat and then snow. Please. Please. Ongoing pandemic can do it too. Yeah, that's a good point. Jury duty. I got called for jury duty too, but I never had to go in. How is it? Is it bad? Were you the only one wearing a mask in there, Cavendish, because he said that? God, drives me nuts. Yeah, washers, man. Yay, Adam! You made it! Well, thank you, Corbin. I'm glad you like my ears. Also, I hope you like Gregor. Almost everyone was wearing masks. Good! I hope it was mandatory. Alright, now I need to think if I need to turn it to be portrait or if I want it landscape. And Adam, I think we're gonna go hydrangea on this route. I hope that's okay. Room full of 100 people? Ugh. I meant like your jury, but that makes sense. That's good. You don't know how to count people quickly. You know, I wouldn't think that's a real big like, I don't know, skill. I don't think you need that. That's okay. No, Serenity, don't delete Restream. We need Restream. Restream is making it so I can stream on Twitch and YouTube at the same time. So if somebody here is like, I hate Twitch, you can go on YouTube, or vice versa. It's up to you. That's okay, Badger. Lurking is welcome here. Oh, I gotcha, Cavendish. Oh, that's crazy. Alright. Trying to think of what kind of cottage I want to do. It's like I want to do a multi-level, but I don't want to do a multi-level. And I also don't want to do one that I've done in the past. Might be cute to make the cottage like it's a vase. Just for one little puff. Since hydrangeas have so many like puffs, they're so dense, right? So they might make a nice little, like, umbrella type scenario. Let's do that. I actually like that. I'm going with it. Sorry, I have a squeaky chair. Hydrangea. Yeah. Hey, Adam. Do you happen to know what kind of color of hydrangea she likes? I'm gonna guess pink, because she said pink roses, but I don't want to assume. Hydrangeas are cute because they look like they've got little petals that are held together with like a little pin. I think that's adorable. I've never looked closely at them because they just look like just a tuft of petals, but they have little flowers in them. They're really cute. And the flower people in here are like, yeah, well, duh. Alright. They're kind of dome-shaped. They're not exactly a sphere. So let's go dome. And then I have the house down here. I think a thatched roof would still be pretty cute. But having it like the fortified flora. And Adam, since you weren't here, I don't think when you came in, if you look at this link that has all these flower buildings, that's kind of what I'm going for. But a little bit different. But not so ink heavy. It's gonna be my usual style, but not as detail crazy as those are. And this first bit of drawing is gonna be really light. So if you have trouble seeing it right now, don't worry. Once I get to the point I can like see where I'm going with it, I'll solidify it. But everybody, your week's been alright? Other than, you know, the jury duty. That sucks, Cavendish. I was so scared I'd get called for that. Like, I got called for it and then you call from home to see if you have to go in. And I didn't have to. And I was happy about that. And you were sent home by lunchtime. That's weird you didn't have to call. Like, we had to call. Oh my god, I'm so thirsty today. I've been so thirsty. And I'm always drinking like a steady stream of water, so I don't know why I'm like this thirsty. I'm gonna chalk it up to my body's going through changes because I've been lifting a lot of weight lately, doing the weightlifting thing, so let's hope that's why. cat. How are you? How are you doing? How was your week? Give it up for circle windows, y'all. Circle windows. I'm gonna extend this door up, I think, so it attaches to this bit up here. Ah. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed your package. I like hearing about people's packages that I sent them. I didn't mean for that to be weird. You guys know what I meant. Not those kind of packages. Alright, I want to do some special stuff to this, but I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do different than a normal house. I want some wood bits here. I think here. Honestly, it'd be cute if it just had like a bowl cut. A house with a bowl cut. How cute is that? And we'll go over here. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Asling's a fan of yours. Cute. Oh, that's great. You got emotional? Oh. Well, I'm emotional knowing you got emotional. Sorting out your art room. Oh, but that's exciting, isn't it? Redoing the wall so it's a gallery wall now. Oh, that's awesome. I can't wait to do the walls in my studio. I haven't gotten to that point where I can put up stuff yet, but soon. I would like to do something soon. I gotta get ahead in this month's stuff, but once I do, once I hit a stride, especially with this new Curious Collector schedule, I think I'll be able to do that a lot better. So I'm excited. I might get some actual free time this month. Shut up! I know! That'd be great. Okay, so there's a thing on the top. It's like a face. Gotta make sure I'm not drawing crooked, because sometimes I do that. So I draw at an angle sometimes when I'm sitting down. It's real bad. I don't know why I do that. Also, I want this to curve up, not down. Here we go into the geometry stuff. It's funny because I don't need to actually like do math geometry stuff, but like I have to know how primitives work right now and figure out how I want these things to interact. Never underestimate drawing a bit of a wireframe over something. It can really help. Yeah, there we go. I want to put it up that high. Yes, maybe. We'll do this. Yeah, that's looking okay. Same thing's happening as last week. Here we go. It's gonna start falling down, I know it. I've got clips like I did last time, but man, the clips only go so far. Let me tell you. It's not enough. Okay, So hydrangeas basically, they have all these little flowers all over them, but they're in a dome. Alright, well, let's since the flowers are going to take a hot second, I'm going to do the rest of the house real quick. There's only loose perspective here, really. Like, I'm not doing hardcore perspective. It's basically just like a 1 point for the most part. Oh, good. Yeah, the music is very just ambient for the most part. It's off a tabletop gaming website, so it should be pretty background. The ones that are a little bit too exciting, I took off of it. I had one last week. It was too much, so I had to take it off it. But I hope you like it. It's relaxing enough for what I'm looking for. And it's royalty free, which means I won't get flagged for copyright, so that's good too. Hey Norca, how you doing? Yeah, it's just tabletopaudio.com. Honestly, if you just Google tabletop like background music or ambient sounds or anything like that, there are tons of websites that are just like, well, this one has music, this one has music and ambient sounds like horses and things like that. And some of them you can even dial all that. There's this one that I had for a while. I can't think of it now. It started with an S, but they gave you a whole sound table where it was like, okay, these are the, sound effects, this is the music, this is the piano part of the music. Like, it broke down the track into all the different instruments and all the other stuff, so you could actually dial it. It was great. And all these are typically free. They just ask for donations, so it's amazing. Oh my gosh, I'm so thirsty. No, never apologize for being quiet. I'm hoping every time I'm streaming that you guys are either just using it to chill or you're also working on art. So if it ends up nobody's talking but I've got like 20 viewers or something, that's fine. I don't know. It's an art stream. I would hope people are doing art too. That's my main hope. We can all just set aside time on a Saturday to do a little bit of art together. Seeing as this is kind of my only free time right now between all my projects and things. So, right now on the table I've got a bunny pet and armor I'm doing. He's a little bunny explorer. He's really cute. But still got around 30 to go, commission-wise. And then I'll be able to start getting back to the things I want to do. Don't worry about it, Twillo. You guys shouldn't, have this kind of pressure that you have to do these things on the stream. Definitely don't feel pressure. I just want to hang out. This is the only hangout time I really get. So I'm happy just being here with y'all. I did a IG live stream last week. It was a week already. I think it was last week. So what I wanted to try doing is having IG live streams for the things that aren't my usual Saturday streams like this, where it's got all the bells and whistles of all the things that you see on the screen, and it's just me kind of with a crappy camera, because it's just going to be my phone camera. You don't see my face. We're just drawing on IG Live. That's what I did last time. It ended up being really nice because, you know, despite all the things I've got going on here, which are really cool, I'm really happy with this overlay. It is nice just to turn on the thing and just talk, you know, or just hang out. Plus, I feel like a lot of people on IG don't necessarily want to come over to YouTube or Twitch, which is fine. I mean, that's hard to get people to want to switch over, especially if they're busy or something. Sometimes they just want to, you know, be there on their phone, and that's fine. So, I'm going to try to do that a little bit too. At least I can do that while working on my portraits easily. So the commissions I've got. So this week I'll probably be doing that. So if you see me pop up on your little stories, it's probably me just doing that. So feel free to join in. Let's put a bush here. And then this can be some things. This will be, I guess, rock. I like the idea of rock. This I want to be, I think, wood. Stone feels way too fancy, so we'll make that wood. And this can be wood. This might just be nice as just rocks, because maybe there's water there. So we'll do some rocks. You can't see what I'm doing, but Danik's right, multi-stream can work. However, the problem with multi-stream is the chats are all different, so there's no way to get an amalgam of all the chats together. It's just so you can view everybody, so you have to have one chat that everybody is kind of talking in, text-based at least. And if everybody can agree on that, then it should work okay. But you could just have a Google Hangout. I don't know, I was thinking about doing like some sort of group hang sort of thing as part of a patron thing, so then it doesn't get too crazy. One of the people I'm a patron of does that, and he has pretty good experiences with it, and they've been really fun because you get to like talk and, you know, just hang out, like actually hang out. So that might be worth looking into. Not sure. I don't know. Would you guys be interested in that? My patrons that are in here, if I did some sort of patron-only, like, group hangout thing? Where we can all just be in a group and, like, show off projects or something? Oh, cool. Okay. Wow. Yeah, there is a work in progress channel in Discord, and there is like an audio chat, and I think Discord has video now. Somebody wants to chime in on if that's way off base or not. But yeah, I'm pretty sure you can do that. It would be cute if this had a smokestack, like a little, I want to say like a fireplace thing. Hold on, I'll look at this a certain way. Yeah, that looks about right. Well, I'll take that into account then. If I can figure out how to get some extra time to do that, I definitely would totally do that. What would it look like with a little chimney? Because I don't want the chimney to look too weird, kind of off the... I guess I could put it here. Maybe you can put it there. So it'd be cute to have the chimney, but also have the flowers hanging out. I want to make it a mushroom, but I don't think I want to be that straightforward about it, I guess. I think it'd be cute to have smoke coming out. And then I'll go in front of the flowers. Yeah. At what tier? Probably $3 up. I think that would be, because they get all the digital perks. So $3 up, probably. The people that normally get the calendars and all that stuff. You're drawing a mushroom house? Yes, Helene. Yes. Cute. Can't go wrong with a mushroom house. I think one I did recently was a gourd house. I'm obsessed with gourds right now. Oh boy. I don't have it with me, but I should show you this. I have an idea for a story. One of my quick stories. If you guys saw the light mouse. Actually, I'll link it here. I did a one-shot where I didn't know where I was going with the story, and every day I just did a little bit more of it, and I figured out kind of what I wanted to do with it as I was doing it. And that's honestly one of the most fun things that I like to do, is just do a story every day that I haven't planned, that's just really fun to just tell. And I don't get much time to do those, but they are fun. I really like them. This I think I'll just make wood. I think it'd be cute if it was just wood. I know it could be a mushroom, but maybe it should be, the top of it should be a little stack of hay. Yeah, that works. Let's do that. It looks like another bowl cut. This is a bowl cut hay house. Hello, 90s. I think I had 2 or 3 boyfriends growing up that had a bowl cut. It was the time. Time for bowl cuts. It was cute though. So many boys have that haircut. If you are a boy that grew up in the 90s and you're in here, did you have a bowl cut? I must know. Like, I was born in '86, but I grew up basically in the 90s. So I got the tail end of the 80s, and then some of the 90s. I feel like if you didn't have a bowl cut in the 90s, you probably had spiky hair. And then there was that phase that girls went through in the 2000s where they had the short hair. It was like a short bob, kind of, and they had these two pieces they put in the front, and then the back would just be spiked up. I knew so many people with that hair, and I was like, oh my god, I can't do that. No bowl cuts? Oh no. Oh, with monks, that makes sense. Oh, Friar Tuck, yeah, I could see that. Or you could locate the basement desk so partner could wash a bedding. Could have set up in the living room, but my bird was very grumpy. Oh no. Yeah, I don't blame it. Even the birds are cranky. We're all cranky lately. What's up with that? Is anybody here that's not been cranky lately? Like, it is not my time of the month, and I'm still just cranky. Just cranky. I don't know. I feel like sometimes you just end up cranky. It's the weirdest thing. Alright, I'm going to start on this hydrangea piece up here. So, let's look at a hydrangea plant. Yeah, they really are, aren't they? It's so dumb. Just cranky to be cranky sort of thing. I mean, these things get really small too, but I'm not going to go too crazy. Because the more detailed I get on this part, the more it'll take away from the bottom part. So I have to match the top and the bottom with the amount of detail they have, or else one will be completely overpowering the other. We don't want that. Cantankerous. But for fun. I like that. Like you're almost extra sarcastic to lighten the mood. That's smart. I didn't even think about that. I separate myself when I get cranky and I don't want to take it out on Gabe, because I try not to like displace, but sometimes you can't help it. So instead I just quarantine my mood in the other room. That's okay, Badger. You do what you can do. No one feel obligated to ever be here on a Saturday. You don't have to. I want you to be here because you want to be. You don't have to if you feel like crap. If I'm just rubbing you the wrong way, I get it. I can be obnoxious, and don't worry about it. If you gotta tap out, it's okay. I won't think you hate me. I swear to God. It's just how things go, you know. Yeah, I don't want to deal with any of the other BS. Technology. I'm with you. I may be here, but I am with you. Let's do a leaf or two. You're not cranky? Oh, that's good, cat. Revel in it. Be happy or not. This whole week has just been, I've been tired. And I don't know if it's my change with exercise stuff, or if it's the fact my body is realizing that I've got more free time coming up due to downscaling part of my Patreon, and my mind's like, okay, you can rest now, and I'm sitting here like, no, hold on, we gotta finish stuff. Hey K-Bud, how are you? What's up? Welcome. Yeah, it's just one of those times, man. So we're gonna make this part chalky. Oh, yeah, with the bird cage next to it, that's gotta be rough. Like, does the bird yell during watching TV and stuff too? Got a leaf going on over here. Oh yeah, I could see that. More leaf. Another leaf. God, some of these songs probably aren't helping either. Turn it down a bit. Oh, thank you, K-Bud. I'm sorry I don't give more love to my Tumblr. It's kind of a place for the forwarded stuff, but I appreciate you stopping by to say it. Thank you. I stream on YouTube and Twitch now simultaneously, so if you're not into Twitch and you're more of a YouTube person, go for it. But I'm so glad you love my drawings. Thank you. Maybe I should give more love to my Tumblr then. It's just hard when you're, you've got to be on everything as an artist nowadays, and it gets tiring, man. Everything it's so tiring. Art category. Oh, Vi, that's great. Honestly, I usually do more watercolor too during Twitch. It's funny that the past 3 I think I haven't, but I've still got the ones that are here that you showed up with that I've got to work on. So I think next weekend we'll make it a watercolor weekend. How about that? That way I can finish those up. I think this one might actually become... I might do it during the week, actually. I gotta finish this, because I think I'm gonna have this be the Clover card for this month. I thought of a cute little story for it. So I think this will be the Clover card, but we gotta finish it up. All those pots need to be colored. It's something, so... Maybe I'll stream just a random day this week and finish that up. In the bedroom down the hall with the door closed and headphones on, I can hear him grumpy yelling. Oh no! It's so funny how birds, and I even feel like dogs and stuff, like we kind of have to put them into like a nap phase. Because I have to do that with my dog sometimes too. Like she doesn't realize she's tired. She's a bulldog. So she's cranky, she's stubborn. I know when she's tired. Sometimes she doesn't know when she's tired. And I have to, set the mood for her and be like, see how tired you actually are? And she'll just be like, yeah, I guess. Okay, this is pretty comfortable. I guess I'll sleep for a little bit. Only a little bit. And then she'll sleep like all of the afternoon. But she's so funny. But I do feel like sometimes we have to do things like they were kids, like, give them that nap time. Pets are like us in a lot of ways. They get cranky when they're hungry. They need to be put down for their nap. Not put down, but you know what I mean. I feel like petals are one of those meditative things when you're drawing flowers. I don't draw flowers much, but when I do, I tend to revel in the idea of the fact they do have that meditative effect, drawing the petals, which is nice. Oh, cute. He's just so angry. Oh no. I feel like all the people I know with birds. Serenity, are your birds pretty cranky often? Or what would you say? Like, how much of the time are birds happy? Like, cute internet bird happy. Is it pretty rare? Hard to tell. I suppose sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. that's a good point. Do they get hangry? Do they know the concept of a treat? I guess I don't even know if they know treat. Well, is he the type that you can at least like walk around with him on your shoulder or something and he'll be cool? You have to go. Bye. Oh, bye, Helene. Thank you for coming. I'm glad you like all this stuff. Tell your mom I said hi. There we go. Do they have leaves that just poke out randomly from a bunch? I don't think so. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it. Yes, please do, Helene. Please do. Enjoy your Saturday. 2 years of match to subdue some of his less desired behaviors, but he is stubborn. He's smarter than he lets on. Oh, birds. Thank you. What kind of bird is it, Badger? Quaker parrot. Oh, cute. My aunt was a bird lady. Bird lady / reptile lady. She had boas, but she also had African greys. And I think she had a couple parrots and a parakeet. It's weird because I feel like she graduated from cat lady to bird lady at one point. I remember growing up she was into cats, but eventually she made the jump. I feel like bulldogs are like that too, like they need to be social. Like I feel like most people who have bulldogs have multiple bulldogs. We have a bulldog and 2 poms. The poms are rescues. And it's weird because sometimes, since our bulldog is still kind of young, I mean she's almost 3, but she, you know, had the poms around her growing up, so she kind of acts like a pom sometimes, which is cute. But every time I see people with bulldogs, like, they just act like guinea pigs and such. Like they need that that camaraderie of other bulldogs. It's funny. They're so plumpy. Grade school, we had a budgie. Oh, budgie. Budgies are so cute. Oh, that was sweet of you to take him over. That's crazy. You just find like a parrot outside. Like, that's, I don't know, that's gotta be kind of surreal. Oh no. Bye-bye, birdie. Poor little budgie. Well, guess he went to see the world. I think I'm gonna make this a lot more rough. Like they were found sticks. I think we're almost to the point we can start rendering it out. Put another bush back here. Yeah, same with here too. There you go, Cavendish. That's a good thing to choose. Oh, he came out of his shell. What a sweetheart. So there's gonna be a backyard, I guess, on this thing. So I don't want it to just kind of drop off right there. I think that should have a little bit of a backyard. Closet talker. I was talking to Cynthia. Aww. Oh, Night Vi, thanks for coming. Always appreciate you hanging out. Thank you. I hope you sleep well. Hey, girlfriend. Hey, guess what? Hey, come here. So he's a cat caller, huh? Bye. Yeah. It's hard because people, when they do that, they mean well, you know, but they don't understand you need to grieve a bit and then, you know, warm up to the idea of replacing that family member, you know. I mean, I would assume it's similar to, you know, if somebody gets widowed, the equivalent would kind of be, you know, somebody else being like, hey, just start dating again. It's like, no, it's not how that works exactly. Like, you need to heal. Hey boy, what doing? Cute. What's his name? I don't think you had told me his name yet. Cute. Does he sing? I'm so over doorknobs, you guys. Give me a door, whatever this is. Door grab. I'm gonna call it a door grab. Handle, sure. Doesn't have like a slit for your hand though. So maybe it's just a door grab. Let's just call them all door grabs. Screw handles and knobs. Door grab. His name is Smokey. Ooh. Because your floor is creaky, your floor is its own pet, so to speak. Alright, I think this is ready for some rendering. I'm going to put a little bit of spot color in this one. Adam, are you still here? Or did you duck out? No problem if you did. I think it's cute. Birds get shy. So if anybody ever gets any sort of commission from me at any point, if you want me to draw it on stream or live for you or do a time lapse, you can request that. And I'll let you know if it's doable or what part of it's doable. Totally okay with that. Sometimes I need to not stream the pencils because I need to think while doing the pencils, but other times, yeah, depending on what it is, I'm for it. Alright. I'm gonna make the bottoms of these kind of faded so I can put them in water. Yeah. Get rid of a lot of this stuff. Progress pic. Thanks, K-Bud. I'm about to go into it with the markers, so if you want to watch the replay on YouTube or Twitch, it should have the rest of it up until being finished. So thank you for joining. Hope you enjoyed yourself. Well, hi there, Bodo. How are you? Or is it Bodhi? That was an O. Dinosaurs. Thank you for the follow. And Bode and K-Bud, thank you for the follows. I didn't even see it. It didn't even tell me. What kind of crap? Ugh, stupid thing. Yeah, please sit and relax, and if you want to draw with me, feel free. If you want to ask questions, feel free. Whatever you want to do. Wow, that was quick, Cat. Way to go. Kind of want to do this in color. I was going to do it grayscale, but I feel like going colorful with it. I'm going to go with my gut. Oh, Cat, thank you. Your wrist is inflamed. Oh, Serenity, I'm so sorry. I was having this terrible pain in my thumb where all I wanted to do was push on the thumb muscle and like stretch it out and just rub it all the time. Turns out it could be a bunch of things. It's kind of known as scroll thumb. But I'm thinking it was more from drawing. But maybe it's from scrolling. I don't know. Either way, if your thumb hurts like right here, there's this wrist brace you can get, and I wore it a few times, and already it like made my thumb feel better. But if you've got something in your thumb that hurts, it might be that. I know this is very obscure and random, but just thought I would pass that along if anybody else had that. But Serenity, I'm so sorry your wrist is inflamed. Is it for any particular reason, or does it just like flare up sometimes? Appetite bird size 10. Oh, what a cutie. Oh, you start at 9. Okay. My bad, Kat. I didn't realize you had been working on it so long. I thought you started it when you said, I'm gonna make it a gallery wall. And you just started it and you're like, yeah, well, it's done now. And I was like, okay. Wow. Good job, Kat. I thought you did it in like, how long have I been streaming? Like an hour. So that makes more sense. You just told me that's what you were doing today. Okay. It would have been impressive. That's what I'm saying. It's like, damn, she quick. Look at that. Work and straying yourself too far. Oh, you girl. Well, if anybody wants me to give them that link to that wrist brace, let me know. It's not a typical one. It's specifically for this muscle if it's hurting you. All it really does is it renders it immobile and keeps it to your hand. So if you can, for the most part, keep your thumb close to your hand and keep, like, not doing this with it, it'll get better. But that's mainly what that particular brace is for. No, I know you're not ignoring me. No. Just because somebody doesn't talk in the chat, I don't think they're ignoring me. Not one bit. If you're here, you're here. If you're talking, cool. If you're not, if you dip out, it's honestly the nature of the beast. Like, streaming in general, you just kind of assume people come and go. Not a big deal. I am totally okay with that. Definitely don't feel bad about it. No. You all have lives, you know? I'm not saying I don't, but part of my life is being here. But if you gotta go because of something, you forget to say bye, don't think that I'm just sitting here like, oh my god, why do they hate me? I don't know. I don't do that. It's okay. I know that's, you know, you duck out sometimes because you gotta. No problem. No problem at all. So right now I'm just doing flats on this. I'll render it more thoroughly later, but for the moment, I'm just blocking out where all the color is. And then I'll render it more later. Which this honestly makes for some fun progress shots, especially for my Patreon, because I end up turning them into like little animated GIFs. So those are enjoyable, I think. I like making them too. But it's fun to see it go from pencil to flat to final. Find out where this is, put it over here. Kind of want the water to fade off in the background. You love the fantasy theme? Thank you, dinosaurs. I appreciate that. We'll draw Zelda. I mean, Zelda is very much a part of a lot of our upbringings, I think. I highly suggest you go with your gut if you want to do that. Tendinitis in both hands from work injury. Oh, I'm sorry, Badger. That sucks. Yeah, wrist braces are weird. I like the ones with the metal bit in them. Those seem to help. The bowl cut roof, right? Oh my god, I love bowl cut, like, hay roofs. On people, it can look okay depending on the person, but I think it works for this cottage. I really do. I'm into it. Oh, Bode. Have you heard of Bodie? Yeah, you can refer to me as Cloverkin. It's okay. My buddy Bodie, he prides himself on mushroom folk. He's got his own little universe with that. I have a story that has mushroom people in it, but I haven't been able to get at it yet. But if you haven't heard of Bodie yet, This might do it for you. Hold on. Everybody should check out Bodhi. Bodhi's great. He's got this really cute style. But they call him mushrooms. Those are his mushroom folks. But yeah, if anybody wants to follow me on Instagram, that'd be great. I'm really close to 10K right now, which is crazy. I need like 13 more, something like that, or 16. Stupid. Can't do math. Whatever. And then I get a sweet little swipe up button. That's all I want in this life, is the little swipe up button. And then I'm done trying for anything ever again. It's crazy. I don't usually say, hey, put a lot of emphasis on followers, but the only time I will is to get the swipe up feature, because as an independent business person, you'd be surprised how much that stupid button helps. It's really dumb. So if you want to give me a follow on there and help me out. Otherwise, I don't care about followers. Instagram gives you that functionality at 10K. And it's stupid and it's whatever, but it helps people get to your products and things quicker. Which is dumb. Like, I don't know why they can't just give you the swipe up feature at like 5K or 1K. Like, what's it gonna hurt to let people direct their Instagram followers to stuff sooner or easier? Like, what's the problem with that? You're welcome, Bode. I hope you enjoy his work. He has a little comic, like a little zine that I got about his mushrooms. They're cute. It is. It is. It's terrible. And it sucks that you have to play their stupid game to get anywhere. But anyway. Right? For a small art business? I know. It's crazy. I'm not going to go with that color. I'm going to go with this color. This will be the wood color, I think. Maybe? Hold on. I wish I could do that, Serenity, but I need it. You know I need it. Believe me, if I wasn't an artist online, I would absolutely not be on any social media. It's just, it doesn't really go along with my whole shtick. I don't know what I feel like. And this is just a heads up too, if anybody ever wants to rewatch streams, just to see like how I did this or whatever, but you don't want to listen to me, you can play it and like fast forward and mute it so it looks like a time lapse, and you can do that on YouTube or on Twitch. Sometimes you just want to see the thing be done. You don't necessarily want all the politics and all that. Honestly, the one in real life is a lot less drab than this. Let me see if I can change that. That's about where it is. Yeah, that's more accurate. Yeah, it's too bad. It really is too bad. But I mean, Instagram is technically Facebook, so since Facebook owns Instagram, it makes sense. Sorry, Facebook owns Instagram. I said that right, not the reverse. All art in one place? What's that like? Oh my god, how right is Cavendish? Oh lord. Kat, you have a TikTok. That counts. That's a multiple thing. Come on now. I've been trying to be nicer to myself in terms of if I forget to post to a different social media, I'll just post it later. I'll be like, alright, whatever. Like for me, sometimes I forget Twitter. Sorry, Twitter. I'll post to Instagram and then just forget to go over because I have to hand do Twitter. So I don't always remember it. Yeah. I think I'm gonna make the door the same color as the hydrangeas. Twitter is when I came into existence and thus have the best response. I could understand that, yeah. Staying where you feel you're the strongest. I'm gonna go pink with this because I know she likes pink roses, so I'm gonna go pink. Let's do 2 different kinds. Isn't that just how it goes, though? All the things you want to have a better response don't. That's one of the things that's really interesting is no matter where you post, finding out that maybe a piece you love people hate and a piece you hate other people love. Like, that can be the nature of the internet, so sometimes it's important to gauge like prints and merch and things by, you know, taking into account how many likes it gets. Because, you know, despite how you feel about it and how well you'd want it to do if you were like, yeah, I love this, I want to make it a print. If it doesn't do well, I mean, it's just how it is, you know, and then you post something else and it does really well and it has mainly the same factors that the other thing did, like time of posting and all that, and it does better, then maybe consider making that one a print too. You don't have to not make something a print or pen or what have you if, you know, people seem to not like it or like it. You do what you want. Ultimately do what you want. But it's good to kind of take into account, you know, how something did and maybe think about if it's worth it. Serenity. Serenity, have you tried to post often at the same time? Because I notice when you do post it's sporadic, but sometimes if you do post at the same time, like every day or every other day or something, it can help. But that's how it used to be, at least. I don't know what it's like anymore. Like now I don't even try to understand the algorithm. I used to post at 8 p.m. every day, and for a while it was okay, and then they changed the algorithm, and I don't know anymore. I just post when I feel like it, if I feel like it. Doing this crap since 2012 has really worn me down, so I don't waste my time trying to figure out what they want anymore, because I don't care. If I don't make it because of them, I'll figure something else out. I've gotten to the point I don't blame myself anymore. I blame the platform. Which I think is a healthy place to be. Don't blame yourself. Blame the platform. 100%. Yeah. Cavendish, it's so just up in the air, isn't it? It's whatever. I'm gonna do a nice little pink door. I know this just looks like garbly gook right now, but wait till I go back in and detail it, it'll get better. I hear you, Serenity. I hear you. It is exhausting. I'm with you. Oh no. Hi, Megan. How you doing? I mean, when did I start drawing this? Maybe it was like an hour 45 ago. And I think I just started flatting it maybe 15 minutes, half an hour, something like that. So, maybe? I don't know. Oh. So then maybe if it's happening to both of you, maybe it's my fault. Maybe it's not you at all. How about that? It's part of the reason I like markers. They go pretty quick compared to watercolor. Watercolor, it's like if you're watching it, you see the buildup of it. It's like, oh yeah, there's a light wash there, and oh, okay, so that's gonna be that color. With marker, it's just like, bam, it's that color, done. So, yeah, that might not be your fault. In fact, it's probably not. It's the marker's fault. give the water some more depth, I think. It is your fault. Ah, impressive. Oh, Twillo. You're so nice. Thank you. Oh, that feels nice. Thank you. Good feelings are good. I'll probably have to do some of that smoke and flowers business with the pastels at some point. A birthday party? Oh, that's gonna be fun. Oh man, birthday parties. When was the last time I was at a birthday party? I think it was my party. 5 years ago. What constitutes a birthday party? Because, I mean, I guess if you count me and Gabe, that might have been a party. Like, we just had a party together, but if not, sad. A legitimate party I haven't been to for 5 years, something like that. It's been a minute. Oh, God, Megan, you're so nice. Oh, man. Whoa, what if everybody that went to a birthday party brought, like, a main gift for the birthday person, but then brought, like, party favor bags for everyone else? And if everyone did that, think of how much stuff everyone would leave with. That'd be crazy. Is that what you're doing? Oh, my God. Like, little gift bags? Like, chocolate or... Oh, man. That'd be so much stuff. Everybody would leave with so many things. It could be really cute. Okay. Let's see. I wanted to get a more wood color in here for... Or it's a dirt color. Who am I kidding? It's dirt. It's ground. But it has to be a darker color than the wood. Oh, thank you, Cavendish. It's something you gotta build up to for sure. And I think my confidence with it mainly has come from being able to just swatch it at the bottom and know it's the same one, but the fact that I use the same colors all the time for all my stuff is another part of it. So like when I got those new markers you guys saw me with that one time, that Serenity like had suggested to me, I love them, but I have to get used to them to be able to actually be that confident with those ones. Sorry, because right now I've got the ones that I've been using forever off to the side here, so since I'm used to them, I can do that. Just know exactly what they're gonna look like. That's why watercolor, I think, will forever be hard for me. Doesn't mean I'm not gonna do it, because I love watercolor, but every time you see me do it on stream, it's slower, because every time, you know, even if it's the same colors I've used a bunch, it can come out different because of how much water or pigment you're using. So watercolor can be all over the damn place. Also, knowing how to use the brush tip on a marker does help as well. Knowing how to like push down to get more of the brush to put down pigment versus, you know, lifting it up and all that. have the light source be over there. Thrift stores, yeah! $10 or less. Oh, that's so sweet. They are a bit different, Serenity. It's true. Doesn't mean they're worse or anything, but they are different. Priority 1. Yeah. I had this one tiny brush. It was called the Psycho. And I was using it for things, for like paintings and stuff. And I shit you not, I like just dabbed it once into paint in a way that I wasn't really like paying attention. The tip just was forever bent. And I was like, damn it. Oh, it was stupid. Like, it should have been a little bit more durable than that, I think. Come on. Oh, really, Serenity? I didn't know that. I remember when I went to England and I needed a new marker and I went into this Cal Arts art store or something like that. I think it was Cal Arts. Cass Arts? I think it was Cass Art. Yeah, Cass Art. And I went in there and I asked for, Prismacolor, and they looked at me like I was crazy. And I didn't know at that time that Prisma was only US. And the store guy was incredibly rude about it. And he's like, no, we don't have those. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, are you sure? He's like, no, we don't have those. Like, I had just asked once and he was already lit. He must have been having a bad day. But I let it go after, like, that. I'm not a Karen or nothing, but first he had to ask me though what they were, and I told him, and he just, I don't know, he wasn't having it. This looks like He-Man. Does that remind anybody else of He-Man, this area right here? I think I might Photoshop that in when I post this online. Unintentional, but fun, regardless. I'm going to keep this pink, even though it's looking into the room. I'm going to keep it pink because adding any other color there would be more distracting than helpful. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to take another progress pic. You can see the He-Man hair, right? I did not mean to do that. Consider it a happy Easter egg. Alright, now we go to the render mode. Alright. He-Man. Good points, Twillikins. Good points. The He-Man hairstyle. Maybe it's not a bad idea to model hay roofs off of hairstyles. We started with the bowl cut. We ended up with the He-Man. Maybe it's not such a bad thing. Alright. Let's render. I'm still going to make this a wood door. I gotta fill in that window too, which I might just fill it in with yellow. lid in there maybe. This part's fun. I don't want to say it's mindless, but it's a lot less mentally intensive. Because it's just like, you can feel it out and just put shadows and whatnot wherever you think they should be. So like I said, if the sun's over there, then, you know, the shadows and everything are going to be going like this. Remember, there are shadows within shadows. If anybody has any questions on anything I'm doing or why I'm doing it because I look crazy, let me know. I will be happy to answer them. Does anybody have anything fun coming up this week? Or this month, really? Put some texture on it. As you can tell, it's like, I don't want to say it's stucco, but it might be clay or plaster or something. But I wanted to stick out differently from the wood. Oh, moss. That's the game with the mouse, right? The mouse swordsman. I have about 3 stories that have mice protagonists and just revolving around mice, and I always second guess doing them because I'm like, everything mouse I've ever done has either been related to Mouse Guard or Secret of Nim or Redwall, and is, you know, it's flattering when somebody's like, oh, this reminds me of this, but it's also kind of a bummer if you're making original content and people just keep saying it looks like something else. So it's almost like you have to try to look for something that you like that isn't very mainstream or well known, so no one can really compare it to anything. But honestly, at the end of the day, try as you might, someone's gonna find something to relate it to anyway. So I guess, moral of the story, be careful with what you say to people. Like, if it looks like something to you, it may not look like it to them, and even worse, they may not want to hear that it looks like something else, especially if they put time in to make it look original. Like, I don't do fan art, kind of on purpose. I like making my own original stuff. I don't believe in selling fan art either. I think it's wrong, because you're taking money for someone else's ideas and all that. I won't get into that. But I'm very, you know, adamant about doing my own thing and my own universes and all that. So that's why I'm usually doing my own things. Because I don't even get enough time to myself to think of my own stuff, so when I get time to think of it, I want it to be my own things. I want to spend time on, you know, my properties and my stories and stuff like that. So I think that's important. Oh no, Fritz is gonna pull weeds. Make a game of it. Maybe. Maybe you're pulling them so you can put something nicer in the yard. I don't know. I need to mow and weed too. Big sigh. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, you can have the same content as someone else and still be completely different than it. where a lot of people, if they see the same content, like mice, bam, to them, that's mouse guard, or, you know, something like that. Like, to them, to their experience, they have something tied to that. And I can't tell you how much that happens at a convention. So you really get used to it. And it's not like it's something that you can, you know, we can fix or anything like that as a whole. So you get used to it. But at the same time, it's like, you know, just remember, you have to tell yourself sometimes that my stuff still is unique, even if it, you know, reminds someone else of something. Plus, that's on them. You can't tell somebody, hey, this doesn't remind you of that, because it does. It reminds them of something. So it's a push and pull sort of scenario. Because as an artist, it's just what happens. You know, we weren't born in the era, most of us, where everything was new. Like, there's only one Brian Froud at the time. But I'm sure maybe when he was doing his stuff, somebody might have just been like, oh, you know, you and your wife are making fantasy creatures and maquettes. That's like Ray Harryhausen, or, you know, whatever. When they were making the old claymation stuff like Jason the Argonauts back in the day. Maybe he got, you know, compared to them. Who knows? Yeah, typically it's out of love, yeah, but something they hate, which is just rude. I've gotten a couple people at conventions that were incredibly rude and awkward with what they've said. But a lot of the time you have to realize where you are. You know, some people might not have control over what they're saying. Some people might have hidden illnesses and things. So you learn to react appropriately to whatever the given circumstance, because what other choice do you have? Like, you're in a public spot, you're putting your work out there, you're going to get all kinds of responses. So, yeah, it is usually out of love, and you say thank you, and, you know, all that, and what else can you do, you know? You're not going to sit there and lecture somebody about all the stuff I just said. No. But, I mean, there are people that don't take it as good as I do. There are people I've seen that just lose their shit. So, if anything, I'm talking to the artists, but also the people that would be talking to the artists. Like, you gotta be careful, because some artists will melt down. So just, I guess, be aware of that. Especially lately, it seems like people are getting a lot more heated about that sort of thing. But it's similar to that, the whole argument about calling somebody talented versus skilled. I believe you should call people skilled instead of talented, because talented gives them the idea that you think what they have is God-given, when a lot of the time they've grinded on it for years and years. So it's almost like you're saying, you know, oh, you didn't earn that, you know, God gave it to you or something. So when I'm complimenting artists, I tend to say, you know, oh, you're so skilled instead of talented. And I feel like just that little tweak really does help. But like I said, if somebody, you know, is at a con and, you know, they're not really ever exposed to the art community or anything like that, and they say talented, it's like, you know what they mean. They have good intentions. They don't mean anything bad by it, anything like that. But I mean, if somebody stays there for a while and talks to me about it, I tend to kind of go down that agenda. Because if they're staying at my table, they're taking up space that other people can look at. So I feel at that point, I can kind of tell them more about myself, you know? Because sometimes you get people who kind of hang out at your booth and, you know, block traffic and all that. And when they do that, a lot of us see that as an open invitation to, you know, well, if you're going to talk to me, let's talk. And, you know, we'll talk to you about that kind of thing. So there are some guys that are just being creepy too when they do that. We call those booth barnacles, because they'll just stay at your table and kind of, they won't even talk to you really. They'll just stay at the corner and kind of stare, get kind of creepy. And sometimes you tell them to move and they just shuffle like 3 steps over or something. And it's like, okay. There's a lot of etiquette at a con. Like, don't set your stuff on an artist's table. That sort of thing. Because, that can be bad. Especially if it spills. If it's, like, Dragon Con is a drinking con, so they allow beer. Once I had somebody, like, spill their beer on my table. And it's like, I've got originals out there. Luckily, nothing got wet, but it was on my table, and I had to bring home my tablecloth smelling like cheap beer. So that kind of stuff happens. So you have to, another good reason to, put your stuff in plastic and things like that. Protect your things. Yeah, right? A booth barnacle. It's what they are. I feel bad because, you're putting them into a little compartment, but they won't leave sometimes. I've got some horror stories about that sort of thing too, but I don't know. I feel like this is not the stream for that right now. Maybe next stream. Being called talented as well. I was told all my life I can't do art, and now they call me talented. I'm like, no, I invest hundreds of hours into it. There you go. It's true, Cavendish, but when you've had hundreds of people say that to you as they're passing your booth, I think you're going to get a little irked too. It's one of those things, like, you put so much time into making something different and original, and it's still, just because it's this thing, it reminds them of something else. It's just one of those little things. It's like some days it gets to you, some days it doesn't. You go back and forth. You have to give yourself a pep talk sometimes before a convention. So, like, you do end up reminding yourself the things you're telling me. Like, you have to, or else you'll go crazy. But sometimes they just get to you. Like anything on a down day or whatever. That sort of thing. But what was cool about when I had gone to Midwest Fur Fest, which was the first furry con that I had done, what was neat to me was that a lot of my influences, even though I don't draw anthro art, a lot of the influences I kind of draw from, like Don Bluth and, Brian Froud and all that, a lot more people knew about them at the FurryCon, which was really kind of mind-blowing to me. So that was neat that I could kind of talk to people more about that than at a regular con. Because at a regular con, you'd have to name the movies, and people would recognize the movies. But at the FurryCon, I was able to say Don Bluth, and they knew who I was talking about. So that was neat. That was pretty cool. But anyway, I digress. You know exactly that type of person. Yeah, I guess in that case it is a good descriptor. If somebody comes to mind, they do just hang out at the booth. It's like, okay. I traded social skills for this. That's a good way to look at it. Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. People who don't know Don Bluth. I mean, a lot of people don't. And that's fine. I mean, I'd assume that's the same as somebody saying a sports athlete person. It's like Roger Clemens. Somebody's like, who the fuck is Roger Clemens? And it's like, well, baseball. Or like Wayne Gretzky. It's like a lot of artists don't know these people. I only know because video games. But, anyway, it's that kind of thing. If you're not in the sector, it's like you don't know. And I don't blame people for not knowing Don Bluth or Brian Froud. I mean, they're heroes to us, but to other people, that's fine. They don't know them. I think it's important to know, your circle versus others. Especially when you go to a regular convention that's not, like, I feel like a furry con is based around furries, and like anime cons have a certain demographic. But if you're looking at just a regular convention, like a C2E2 or a New York Comic Con or, San Diego Comic Con. Those are more generic conventions. They carry all sorts of fandoms, right? Dragon Con, I would lump into that, but they do seem very much more fantasy-oriented, just in general. So Dragon Con feels like it's a generic con, but it's leaning more towards fantasy, Clingers at the job fairs. Yeah, weird. At a job fair? So I would feel like at a job fair, you gotta know it's because of the girl at the booth. Because, at least at a convention, you could make the argument that they're there to look at the art. But if it's a job fair, I'm here to look at the ledgers. No. Hey, guy. How you doing? How you been? Fitz the Barnacle doesn't pick up on any obvious disinterest for our conversation they're having this week. Yep. There was this one time, my most obvious Barnacle spent probably an hour and a half at my booth over the course of the weekend. And he was literally off to the side on the very cusp of the table and would just kind of look out away from the booth, but then would turn once in a while and kind of glance. And eventually he ended up, by the end of the con, buying one of my original pieces. However, I had a friend, and this was a very small con. I'm guessing less than 200 attendees total. And a friend of mine was helping me with the booth, and he was out and about and, doing the rounds at the place, looking at what's there and whatnot. And he saw the guy, and the guy was like, hey, give me $80 to his friend, asking if he could buy one of my originals so he could, impress me, I guess. Believe me, I don't have many stories like this. I'm not trying to gloat or anything like that. This is not like that at all. But do not buy something from someone's table to try to impress them, because that's not what we're thinking. Not what we're thinking at all. Just buy things you like. We're there because it's our job for the moment. We're at that convention because that's how we're making our money that weekend. It is a job for us. But needless to say, I was very sad that particular piece went to him because I knew it wasn't going for the right reason. And I didn't learn about this until later. And it kind of broke my heart because I feel like I would probably have denied him that piece. Because really, he just took it for that reason, and it's just a bummer. I liked it too. It's like every time I sell an original, I want it to go to someone who I think will enjoy it. And I know he didn't have the right incentive, or his intentions weren't pure, I guess. So that's a bummer. Yeah, it's messed up. So you get all kinds of different things that happen at conventions. Awkward things that you have to learn to deal with. I had another time a guy just insisted, that something was a certain type of fish, and I was like, okay. And then he was like, do you have any types of fish that aren't that fish? And I was like, no. If it's not here, then, I don't right now. He just got really mad about it. I don't know. And there's this other guy that was just going around asking about people if they have pigeon art, and if they don't, he's like gone. It was, there's lots of weird things. There was a girl that came up to me once, and she pointed at my poster, and there's a guinea pig, and she said, "That's the ugliest hamster I've ever seen." And she's like 15 or something, and I was like, oh, well, that's because it's a guinea pig. And she was like, well, whatever, it's ugly. And then she walked off. You get the weirdest things happening. It's so weird. If you're not used to negativity, just random negativity, This will either get you really used to it so you can brush it off pretty easily, or it'll make you enraged. It depends on what the type of person you are, but I think it's good to get you used to that. In my opinion, if you're going to keep doing conventions, or if you stream, honestly, trolls are a good way to kind of acclimate yourself to. Just, it's so weird. Like, people can be crazy. So many things. So many weird things. Creepo guys or angry young girls. Stuff everywhere. And you guys know I like that kind of thing where it's like every day is different. This is part of it. At least I get stories out of it. And experiences. And honestly, that's the main thing I tell myself, well, that was interesting. I can tell somebody about that. You know? I'd straight up reply with, well, you got the ugliest attitude. Like, ugh. Well, I yelled after her. I told her she was rude, but at that point, what does it matter? Like, she was with her family, and it was just strange because they were walking by, and they kept walking, and she just came over and said that and then left. I was like, oh my god. What? And it was at Gen Con, and Gen Con, for the record, has like the best attendees in the world. Gen Con, Dragon Con, and Emerald City, I feel like, are my favorite conventions to vend at. The people are so hungry for original work. They really appreciate indie artists. They like talking to you. They're nice people. At least from what I've seen. But like other conventions, it's just, you're always going to have some weirdies. Some outliers, you know, from the equation that just strange. But yeah, no, Gen Con's great. From art college, all my professors were gaslighting or rude. Yikes. That sucks because they're in a position of power and they're expecting respect. That's, ooh, guy, that's a lot harder to deal with. I'm sorry you had that. Because they've got, you know, they've got power, like I said, so that's a bit more rough. Because you kind of have to nod or whatever to their crap until you can leave. I would have probably, if you could have reported them. If you could. I know in some cases you can't because, again, power struggle and whatever, but that's really too bad. Life. Yeah, it's just rude. And some people are, you know, depending on the con you're at, depending on the area, the state. Just weird things. Another weird con was Florida. I was at Florida SuperCon on 2018? I think it was 2018. Pretty sure. It's 2018. That convention was strange just for the fact that it felt like it was empty the entire time. And it was a big, big convention. Like, people were telling me it was usually, you know, packed and all this stuff. And the area is huge. But, like, the people were just, they wouldn't even look on either side of them. And they were just tractor beam the whole time, just looking forward. I mean, they're going up and down the aisles like this, and they were just zonked. And all we could think of is that it must have been the heat. I mean, it's Florida, it was hot, it was like July or something, like summer. So we just thought everybody was in this like zombie state. Because it was so surreal. The energy that usually comes with a convention was not there. But the people were, so it was very awkward. Very, very strange. It never occurred to me that people might think convention artists were hookers that you can book discreetly by buying their art. That's so gross. They're really hilarious and profoundly sad. Yeah, right? That's so weird that, like, that went through his head. Like, oh, if I get her art, I could potentially get with her. I'm thinking he thought it was like, I don't know, a foot in the door scenario. Like, oh yeah, I like this because of this. Hey, you should come up to our hotel room. We've got more. Like, I was thinking he would go there, but he was too shy. It's like, I don't know, he went halfway with the whole thing. It was weird. Oh, the pencil sharpener. Yeah, so I have two. I typically use this one if it's getting really like bad, and then sometimes this one with colored pencils, a lot of the time the lead will be offset inside of the pencil, so when you have a pencil that one side gets full of just wood and the other side looks like this and the other side is just wood all the way up to the tip, I usually used to take a like a razor blade and just, you know, like a box cutter or something, and just kind of get rid of it. But this is called a Hovel, Hovel. It's very heavy, but there's a little, like a razor blade in here. And you can swap it out by taking this and, like, you know, whatever. But it's nice because you can just swipe across it. There's a base you can get with it too if you pay extra. But I always use these for my just handheld sharpeners, so you just have to do this. So it's a lot easier and a lot more controllable than taking a like box cutter or razor blade. So I can actually get rid of the side that has the wood on it. So it's nice. I use it a lot for my pastels too, because pastels are a lot more chalky than regular lead. So it's helpful. But yeah, that thing was like not totally cheap if I remember, but it will last forever, so I enjoy it. Oh really, Guy? That's so weird. How strange. Well, I'm sorry you were in that situation. That feels very, A, shitty because you were trapped, but B, just in general, like, you weren't getting the best education, I feel like, because you were preoccupied with all those other things that the teachers were doing, so that sucks. I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry you didn't have more of a positive, you know, college experience. That's a bummer. Yeah, that's a good point, Badger. And that's kind of why I think when I know I'm getting a quality art tool and I know it'll last a really long time, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. Granted, this thing was like $13 and it's lasted me forever and it's great. However, I feel like that's a lot more of a rare incident. This is, and we bought a second one for Gabe, so he has one in a different room, and they're great, but like I said, that seems more like a rare incident. You're welcome, Guy. Yeah, that's crappy. I'm glad you know, though, that wasn't the norm. You know, that your incident was very isolated, and that's not, you know, that's not how you should have been treated. And that's not, you know, normal college anything. So I hope you're able to move past that, because that's bad. And people can be bad. Alright, I think I'm almost to the point where I can do the highlights in the water. The water's the fun part. I like doing the water. And then I'm going to go over this later with some pastels so it pops a good bit more. him off screen. Right now I'm just doing the rocks under the water. Very fun part. I have fun with it. I like it. It's exciting right now. Gabe's doing a comic that's kind of a one shot, one-off. He's doing it for Free Comic Book Day. It's his story, his art, his everything. He's just got time right now to do it. So he's busting his ass trying to get it done for Free Comic Book Day. And then he's going to put it out as a pay-what-you-want model, which I think is really cool. And, I don't know, it's just nice to see him so happy doing one of his own stories and everything to be in control again. I like being happy for people and seeing them be happy. It's nice. It's nice to see him happy. It's nice to revel in your friends' successes. Right. Yeah, he's excited to put it out there too. He's had the idea for over a year now, so he wanted to actually finally put it down. And he got to, so that's nice. Oh, I don't have any of my main... Oh yeah, I do. Okay. Alright. Oh. Did I take a picture of the flats? Let me take one more picture. Progress shot. Also, if anybody here is not a patron of mine, I highly suggest checking it out if you like either getting monthly digital art or physical. I have physical and digital tiers, so if that kind of thing interests you, my Patreon is under Cloverkin. I really enjoy my Patreon, it's fun. Gabe was gonna stream tomorrow, but he's gotta get that comic done by Thursday, I think. Thursday's like his self-imposed due date to get it out on time. And then I've also seen him writing his scripts for this other comic that's more of a long-term one. And they've been pretty fun. That's gonna be a fun one. That one's a little bit more, it's rated R / NC-17 potentially. Like, it's a bit brutal, but it's cool. I mean, it's still very him. Ah, see, this is what I'm talking about. Look at this. See this one? Now look at the back. When it does this, this is why you need either one of these or like a razor blade or something. Get rid of that back. Hey, Crane! How you doing? How you been? How's Tricks? Tricks still be tricking? I don't know. Still going, man. Still kicking. I guess the only thing that's different now is that we're also streaming on YouTube currently. So both YouTube and Twitch at the same time. So you get to choose your poison of what you want to watch from. Which is weird because I don't think it's easy to find the YouTube streams. Like when I was trying to figure out if people could discover live streams on YouTube, it doesn't seem like it. Like they don't have a setup like Twitch does. Oh, good, Crane. That's great to hear. I'm glad people are enjoying them. I know you really like to do them, so whenever you can find like-minded people, that's gonna help you out. So good for you, man. That's great. This part's pretty fun, because this is when it feels like it really starts to pop. This He-Man house. If I were gonna sell this, if the person that, you know, I'm doing this for whatever reason doesn't want it, I'm gonna put it up as a He-Man house. Because that haircut, damn. Yeah, it's true. Especially when it's the internet, and the internet's crazy, so bravo, my friend. You've definitely had a rare occurrence happen. Sure. Yeah, feel free to always post things in Discord. Our Discord is open for all sorts of work in progress and critiques and whatever you want. There's a channel for each of them. Finished pieces. Open it back up. Oh, that's a map? Wow, I was picturing like a map, like mountains and continents and stuff. This is great. Damn, Crane. Is it pixel too? You have come a long way, dude. I haven't seen your stuff in a while. This is great. That's a really nice use of a 1-point perspective. I like that a lot. Good colors too. Well done. Yeah, I was thinking more like a world map. Yeah, that's my fault. There's no reason I should have been thinking world map. I don't know. I think every time somebody's been like, I'm drawing a map, I think it's like a world map. That's my fault. My fault. But that is gorgeous. So do you write like campaigns for those maps, or what happens to them? Or are they just maps anybody can use for whatever? Okay. I mean, you're gonna... I don't want to sound like a jerk, but you're gonna struggle forever on and off with your art. There's never gonna be a time you're like completely, yeah, this is great all the time. I'm having a great time all the time. Like, no. I mean, think about the masters and all that. Everybody's gonna struggle at some point. You're gonna doubt yourself sometimes. You're gonna think you're the shit other times. You go back and forth. That's just the nature of the beast. I think realizing that and knowing that if you're having a hard day, that's okay, because you'll have another good day at some point too. It's just today was a hard day. It doesn't mean that the days forever are terrible. It just means today was, and maybe a couple days in a row. That's okay. It's not a whole year or something where every single day is horrible. I have good ones and bad ones, and it just happens. That's just life. Oh, you make them for other people? That's cool, though. I'm sure they love that. And you're making a lot of people happy, especially with beautiful maps like that. Good work. I think that's great. Alright, I'm going to do the water now. We're getting close to being done. Closer. I don't know what the middle of a hydrangea looks like, so let me look at this. I don't know if the inside is brighter. Oh, it is. Okay. Let's do that. These seem to have little white centers. Way off screen. Yeah, that's good. You'll eventually get to the next level where drawing things is hard again, and then it's just on and off like that forever. Like you'll think, where can I go from here? And then you'll find it, and then it's difficult again, and then it'll get easy again. And you know, you want to make sure you have that, because if you don't, that means you plateau. And plateauing doesn't really allow for any growth of any kind. So make sure that you're always struggling a little bit. Because honestly, struggle means growth. And that means that, you know, you're going to be at least changing. You know, you're going to be growing, you're going to be improving, and all that. If nothing hurts, nothing's changing. At least when it comes to, you know, learning your craft and all that. Now I'm going to do some, I'm going to get pink, like a pink pastel, and I'm going to go into this cloud at some point so it looks a little bit more transparent. Right now it's very opaque, not intentional. It'll just happen later on. I guess that's where they get the growing pains, like, saying. That would make sense. Okay, now let's do the water. Is anybody going to Dragon Con this year? I know it's still really early in terms of the pandemic and all that, but just curious. I forget how to paint sometimes. That's natural. Yeah. I was doing a tarot card for this this Kickstarter that's going to be going live, I think, in a month or so. And, you know, I had to digitally paint it, and I digitally paint every month, just not to this degree. And I went blank for the first, like, half an hour. I had to remember how I paint. Very weird to have to forget that. I mean, I could have done it traditionally, but I wanted to make sure they had the color that they wanted. They wanted specific, like, kinds of colors. So it's hard to match something like that when you're doing it traditionally. I could have changed it later, but even then it's not a guarantee you can hit the exact same color they need. Now we take the white pastel, kind of blend it, blends off into the ether. Oh yeah, no, that's, yeah, Crane, that's more than normal. Don't feel bad about that though. Until you get to a point, because your style is what you choose to include and omit the number of times you are doing things. If you draw a human 5 times, the first human might not end up looking like the last human, because in those other times you've decided, well, I don't want them to have ears, I don't want them to have, you know, nipples on their pecs or something. Like, those are style choices, and by the end of that you'll find out your style choices are different than the beginning ones. And that's why it's kind of crappy to take someone else's style, because they've drawn and drawn and drawn and figured out what they do and don't like from other things. And that's why people always tell you to draw from life, because what you're going to do is you're going to look at the thing, directly ingest it, and then spit it out with your preferences, right? But if you look at like a figure that someone else has drawn from life, then it's just diluted. You're not getting the same information they got when they were looking at the source material, and it's just going to be further removed, you know, and so you're not going to get the chance to taste the flavors that were originally there. It's like re-chewing someone else's food. You're not tasting the food directly from what it's originally intended. You're chewing what they chewed. So you want to make sure the food you're eating is fresh, because then you're going to know exactly how you like it. Does that make sense? That's a decent metaphor. I should put that on TikTok or something. But yeah, that just comes over time. And honestly, that's going to change too. I draw differently now than I did when I was in my 20s, because I don't like the same things, right? My content has even changed. I used to be 100% sci-fi in my 20s. Now I'm very much not, you know, so all of that is gonna change. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that one. I think it's pretty good. It's gross, but it's good. It gets the point across. It works. But I mean, ultimately, you just want to make sure that when you're drawing something from a reference, it's from a reference and not from, you know, someone else's interpretation of that reference. Because then you're just taking their preferences and not including your own. That's why it's really easy in the art world to be able to tell which artists have totally ripped off another one, is when they're doing very specific things that only that other. I've noticed a big deal lately has been putting really, really heavy eyelashes on everything. Like if you draw an eye a certain way, and I'm going to draw this the way I'm thinking about it, and I'm sure there's going to be a few of you who are going to think of specific artists when I even draw this thing this way. So if you see an eye like this, and I can at least think of 5 artists that draw like this, and it's got really heavy eyelashes, right? Droopy eye like this, and the eyelashes are both on the top and the bottom, and they go kind of crazy at one point, right? So this seems to be a thing right now. And then they've got like some eyelid going on here, this sort of thing, and then they'll be shaded. You know, there's at least like 3 people I know that draw like this. And depending on if they use color or not, it's going to look different, right? So remember to draw things the way you want to draw them. Now, it is possible that, you know, multiple artists can draw similar styles, sure. But hopefully they got there by not looking at each other, you know, that sort of thing. Oh, so it's so inconsistent. Yeah, I mean, that's like any artist that's ever done art for an ongoing comic or anything like that. You can definitely look at their art when they in the beginning and when they ended or their most recent and see a total difference. And I think that's just natural. And that's why typically, this is part of the main reason, other than not having time, that I haven't sat down to do any of my stories, because a lot of them are longer. And I know I'm not going to get a good run at it. And I want a good run at it, because if you don't get that good run, your art will change. So, if, you know, if I can get a good run at it and have a solid year on it, I can basically control that style the whole time. But if this was spanned over like 3 years, that is so much harder to maintain. Like, I'm having trouble right now, even with my pet commissions that I've been doing since 2016, to get them to still look the same-ish. I made a really big choice in the past year that I've been doing. I don't think anybody's noticed, but I changed something kind of huge, and it makes it easier for me to do them, and I don't think it's a big enough change where other people may notice it. So it's this nice little in-between. But it's one of those things where it's like you make this change, you hope it doesn't upset people, but it does make things easier for you, and you do kind of think it fits your style better. And if, you know, the same thing goes for if you're doing art for a comic or art for anything that's got kind of an established look already. If you take a chance on changing that because you're growing as an artist and stuff, it's tough, you know? So, I mean, that's very normal, Crane. Don't feel bad about that. It's just, that's part of the reason you want to do something all at once as opposed to having it stretched out over time. And yes, my buck teeth whistle. I have big teeth. Okay, Badger. So I'm going to be going over this with the pastel later on the outer parts of the flowers and darkening those up and bringing them further in. Because right now the middle of flowers typically have more white, and then the outer edge of the flowers are typically more colorful. So since I don't have my pastels with me right now, I'm going to have to do that at a later time. But I will go to the edge of the flowers and bring that color then inward. I'll probably be stopping pretty shortly here because we're at the tail end of what I can do with this for now. next weekend we'll be working on some watercolor stuff. Assuming nothing changes. I might get something I have to do, and I might have to do that on stream. But for now, I'm planning on doing the watercolors that we had started 2 weekends ago. Yeah, that's good, Crane. That's good you noticed it. That's good you have that kind of critical eye for your own work now. That's something that takes a long time to actually get used to and to hone it. It's really important. So good for you. That's a good thing. Because that's when you reach the point of, I'm not putting down my work anymore because it's not inadequate, it's just it needs to change, or it's different. That's a very pro adult mindset about it. Yeah. There you go, Serenity. Like, you make a formula and you figure out a way to stick to it, kind of, you know? I mean, you can have many different styles for many different things. There's no one set style that you should have. Because, I mean, if you're working on multiple projects or whatever, each project is going to have its own style. So, that myth that an artist should only have one style is an absolute myth. And I mean, you don't even have to find your style till later, like one you prefer. And like I said, it changes completely, you know? Artistic pride for me. There you go. Alright, any last questions before we kind of end it? I'm at the tail end here. After I get done doing these hot spots, I'll probably cut the stream, so if you got any last thoughts. Kat, you're going to totally end up developing your own style, though, if you keep following that without even knowing it. Like, people are going to come up to you and be like, oh, that's so Kat. And you're going to be like, what? How? Why? Why is that me? And you're not even really going to know you do things because you're just doing the art the way you want to. And because it's the way you want to, that's going to be what sets it apart. You know, a choice you make on drawing a leaf is different than everybody else. You know, and that's your style. You get section styles, though, like sub-styles, when, like, if I'm drawing a leaf for the Guardian tier on my Patreon digitally, drawing that leaf versus drawing this leaf Totally different approach, totally different style, completely different everything. So you end up having sub-styles of your own depending on what you're working on. So then it's just whatever, you know? Oh, really, Badger? That's great. I'm glad you're feeling better. That's fantastic. I'm happy it helped rather than hurt more. I was worried about that. Let me see if I'm getting that. Oh, really, Cavendish? That's hilarious. Yeah, that'd be trippy, wouldn't it? It's even more trippy when you do find somebody who's imitating your style, and you're like, okay. You have that knee-jerk, that's mine, but you're also like, well, they're figuring their shit out, you know? But you should definitely always try to make your own stuff, because your style will just happen. You can look at someone else's style and be like, oh, I like how they do this thing. And the fact you plucked out, I like how they draw noses, I'm going to try that with my noses. And then you try it, and then you figure out, oh, I want to draw that a little bit differently than they do because I don't like how that part looks. Then you're tweaking it to become your style. And then that, in, you know, culmination with everything else that you've, you know, tried and all that stuff, that's going to make its own thing. That's what you want. You want it to just be a melting pot. Oh, thanks, everybody. I think this would be a cute ATC print at some point, too. I have to give that a shot at some point. But this is for someone, and I hope it makes her happy. She needs a little brightness in her life. So, definitely hoping this does the trick. So, thank you everybody for coming again on this Saturday. I always love talking to you guys. So nice. Getting her donuts. Oh, cute. Well, that should be a good feeling, Cavendish. Bye, Crane. So, I'm thinking during the week, though, I'm going to have to finish this up. So I'll either do an IG live for it or a Twitch stream. I haven't figured it out yet, but I am going to be doing more IG lives coming up. Because they're just a lot more chill. I'll still do Saturdays at 2. But if you want something a lot more casual and just whatever, maybe put on notifications for my IG lives. I don't know. It's up to you. But like I said, I at least want to do it once a week, if not more than that. So, that being said, coming up next week, I am going to be working on the ATC prints for Clover cards. So Clover cards are $4 on my Patreon, and those are, where's my example? Dip, 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 dip. I've got a thing. Where are you? Oh my god, I just had her. Where'd she go? Little fairy. Oh my god. Well, that's crap. I don't know where she absconded to. Here she is. So these things, where it's like a painting, but then on the back I have a little story about it. So every one of these every month comes with its own little story. So that's a nice bit of mail to get. And then, oh, I'll show it again, but this is this month's Curious Collector Guardian. For those that came in late, you didn't get to see this, but it is a corn pip. And I know we just had a pip this last month in July, but this is the corn pip. She's based off those husk dolls. She got a little corn kernel right now. But, so this will have its own lore, its own sticker set. They'll be based around corn. and cute corn things. And I'm excited about that because corn is cute. And if you're like me and you think things like that are cute, this might be a good tier for you. So this will obviously be cleaned up and made more polished and all that. But anyway, I'll be doing that this upcoming week. So that should be fun. But yeah, if you want to be active in our Discord and share your art with each other and me and Gabe, it'll be great. Yeah, Husk dolls, right? Oh my god, I love them. They're so great. So anyway, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. All right? And I'll see you next Saturday. Do something at some point this week that you can tell me about next Saturday. Something fun that you did for you that made you happy. Okay? I'll see you next time, all right? Thanks for coming. Bye.